So beside me I have a 2026 Ford Bronco Big Bend here in Shadow Black. We're going to do a walk around and a review on it. Let me know what you guys think. So in front of me here I have the 2026 Ford Bronco Big Bend here in Shadow Black. Now the Big Bend trim is going to be more of your entry-level trim when it comes to the full-size Bronco. So we'll take a look here at the front. We've got these LED lights with halogen LED daytime running lights. You're going to have to go to the Outer Banks to get these circular LED lights, which I personally love myself. Now, as we carry into the center here, we've got the Bronco name in white, and you also get that unique Big Bend grille. Now, you don't even get fog lights here with the Big Bend, unfortunately. You get a plastic bumper here. You're gonna get two recovery hooks down below with that plastic skid plate there as well. But overall, I would say it's more plain Jane when it comes to the Big Bend. Now, having said that, the aftermarket area is where you're going to probably live if you want to kind of equip this Bronco with a little bit more goodies. You know, you may want to upgrade the grille, also the lights themselves, but it's just going to come down to the buyer. Now, you also get your trail sight assists here that have a max load of 150 pounds each. But overall, that is really it here at the front. Let's take a look underneath the hood and go over the engine of choice. So taking a look underneath the hood here of this Bronco Big Bend, we've got the 2.3 liter EcoBoost inline 4-cylinder with 300 horsepower and 325 pound-feet of torque, made it to the 10-speed. Now you still can get the 6-speed manual transmission. The only engine options here are the 2.3 liter or the 2.7 liter EcoBoost, or the 3 liter EcoBoost, which is only on the Bronco Raptor. I still wish they offered a 5 liter or some type of V8 in the Bronco, because I think it'd be really badass. But let me know what you guys think. That's it underneath the hood here of this Bronco Big Bend. Let's take a look around it and go over its options. So let's take a look around the Bronco Big Bend, and we'll start with the tire and wheel setup. We're sitting on Bridgestone tires. 255/75 R17 is the tire size. We've got this kind of like gunmetal gray wheel with the Bronco logo as a center cap. We've got a plastic liner inside that fender, and then we don't get a body matched fender guard here. It's more of a plastic look. Unfortunately, again, this is more of the entry-level trim. You've got the Big Bend logo here, and honestly, I wish they kind of put something nicer. It looks like a fridge magnet, if I'm honest. But the nice thing is you do have your mirror actually on the cowl as opposed to it being on the door. So if you take the door off, at least you have your mirrors here. And then this is a side profile view of what the Bronco looks like. So again, full-size Bronco, 4-door here as we can see. You've got plastic door handles, not body matched. You've got keyless entry though on the front 2 doors, and then this one does have that running board. Now as we take a look inside here, you are actually greeted with a kind of vinyl interior, so I wouldn't say it's leather, but we'll take a look at the door panel. You're gonna get some soft touch here, but mostly plastic. You got some storage here, and then lock and unlock. Nothing here on the door sill. And then the seats themselves are actually not too bad, but they're not, I would say, a leather, more of a vinyl. And on the passenger side, it is manually adjusted. And then over here, you've got the Bronco name handle here. And then they actually have a handle up here, which is a really nice thing to have. And then you have a lot of accessory ready areas inside the cabin here. But I would say that's really it for the front here. And then when we take a look at the back, this is what the back looks like here. So again, same type of material with some grayish stitching here. The seats are actually not too bad. They feel pretty nice. And then this is the door panel. So again, it's mostly plastic, so it's easier to clean if you do go off-road. And then here's what the door sill looks like. So there's nothing there. Inside here, you've got your window controls, vents, and then you're going to get 2 USB-Cs and a 120 plug down there, which is nice. But I'll show you guys how I would get in here as someone who's about 5'11". All right, so hopping inside here, you've got the running board that's going to help you get in, and then also this handle on the B pillar, and obviously you're inside. The seats are not too bad. I would say they're a little bit stiff, but I think it's going to take some time for you to work into them. And you've got this center area too, if you want to put down for your cup holders or kind of like an armrest. You got your window controls, vents, some plugs, 2 USB-Cs and a 120. I would say 2 people back here would be okay, would be comfortable. The third person is going to be tight. Headroom's about 2.5 inches, and I'm about 5'11", so I'm not crazy tall. And then some storage here, but honestly, that's really it. I mean, there's not much else going on back here, I would say, in terms of, you know, luxury. And what I mean by that, there's no screens, there's no climate control functions, there's no, you know, you're just going to have to sit back here and enjoy the ride, right? So I would say that's really it. And then to get out, you got the handle and then the running board. But let me know what you guys think. Now, one other thing to note is this one does have the hardtop, and it does have the optional sound deadening roof liner, which is something I highly would recommend to get. And then we'll shut the door here. Here's a look at the back tire and wheel. So same dimensions here in the back as it is in the front. And then you're gonna get that kind of plastic liner inside as well. But that's it for a side profile view. Let's take a look at that back tailgate. So in the back here of the Ford Bronco Big Bend, we can see we've got a full-size spare. with your rear camera right mounted on that pole. You've got the Bronco horse on the right, Ford on the left, one recovery hook. Then you've got your parking sensors on the plastic bumper, which I do wish they gave you a metal bumper. Now, you're not going to get LED taillights. You're going to have to go to the outer banks, but you do get keyless entry in the back handle here. And then here's a look kind of at that ground clearance. You've got one exhaust port there on the passenger side, but this gives you a glimpse of what it looks like. Now, I'm going to zoom out here. To open the door here, obviously you just pull on the handle, and then it's got a little bit of tension here, but you open it and it gives you more than 90 degrees of opening there. And then we can open this up here, and this is going to give you a glimpse of what the back looks like. You've got your door storage bags here, which are options. You've got some storage up here on the driver's side, and then a 12 volt with a light there, and then you also have another light over there. You got speakers here on the top bars here. Now this whole part can come off as well. You're going to get a little bit of storage under here, but not much. And then you've got these tie downs in each corner, which is also one thing to note. Now the seats also can fold down. They won't make it a flat floor, but you know, at least you have that option. And then to close it, all you do is push this down, grab the door, and shut it just like that. So that's it for the back here, guys. Let's take a look at those seats behind the driver. I just want to say thank you to Kitchener Ford here in Kitchener, Ontario. Go see my boy Connor. He'll hook you up with a great deal on one of these units. All right, so taking a look at the back here behind the driver's side, we'll start with the door panel. Again, same material and design, soft touch, but mostly plastic. Door handle here, mesh storage compartment. Nothing here on the door sill. And then this is what the seat looks like. Now you're going to get some mesh areas on the back of both seats as well with your vents. And then again, your 120 and 2 USB-Cs, just so I can show you guys there. And then here's what the 120 looks like. Now here's what the seat looks like when it's put down. There's a lever here, and then all you do is push that down, and then you got this flap here to kind of smoothly put things on top of here. But overall, that's really it for the back. Not too much going on. And then you got to just make sure these headrests are down. That's all you got to do to put it up, and then click it. It'll come down just like that. You're also going to get cup holders here too. That's it for the back, guys. Let's take a look at the front. All right, so taking a look inside the Bronco Big Bend here, we'll start with the door panel. Again, soft touch here, but mostly plastic. Lock and unlock here. Some storage down below. Nothing here on the door sill. And then you're going to get manual seats here on the driver's side. But I like the fact that they put the Bronco horse there on the seats themselves. But the seats, like I said, feel nice. On the left side of the steering wheel here, you're going to get obviously your handle with a vent. Then your light controls are here. Parking brake, and then this is your hood release. And the steering wheel is telescopic, but it is manually adjusted with this little lever here. And then you got a handle here on this side as well. Now the backs, if I didn't mention, also have handles to help you get in. But that's it before we hop in, guys. Let's take a look inside. So we are inside the Bronco Big Bend here. So we'll start with the steering wheel. Leather wrapped steering wheel here, as we can see. On the left side is going to be your cruise control buttons with your lane centering, and then you also have your volume controls. On the right side is going to control your front digital display. So when you hit this little menu button, it's going to go to your menu settings, and then you can go to your My View if you wish. Now this is cool. This is your off-road status, and it will show you the degree angle of how you turn your wheel, and it will show you in real time when you turn your wheel, which is pretty cool. As you can see, we are in accessory power mode. That's why it's kind of lit up like a Christmas tree. And then when you go click these three buttons again, you've got your trip, fuel, Bronco information, navigation, phone, audio settings, and whatnot. But it's really cool that they do that. And then you've got your tuning knobs here with call hang up, call pickup, and your voice command. Now on the left side of the steering wheel is going to be your toggle for your wipers, front and back. Now in the front here, we have your dash, which is hard touch plastic. We've got a speaker here. We've got two USB-C plugs as well if you want to plug something in, and then you can actually mount something here if you wish. And then you've got a speaker over there on the passenger side. Now at the top here, you're going to get your trail turn assist, traction control, and then your hazards. And then this is essentially what the dash looks like. So the layout of it is pretty nice. You've got fan over there, and then two here, and then also one over here. Now this is your 12-inch digital display screen, and it works really well. It's very intuitive. You've got all your hotkeys down below here. So you got audio, phone, navigation, and then you've got your apps here, settings, and then your features. So if we hit audio here, you've got different sources of audio, AM, FM, Sirius XM, Bluetooth audio. It does have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now, if you want the navigation on a bigger part of the screen, you hit this arrow, and then it will swap it over just like that. And then if you want to change the different menu on this side, you can just by clicking these arrows, or if you click this, you can then use your finger and scroll through just like that. So very easy to do so. And then your features is going to house all your features here that you want to use. There's really not much going on here. So you've got your driver assistance, so you can change some of the things there. And that's pretty much it for the screen. The responsiveness is very good as well. Now on the left side here, you got your push button start. Down below here, you've got dual zone climate with heated seats. Now, I also like the fact that they put the climate control as buttons, and they show you in these little circles here the temperatures. So this is Celsius, but when you turn it, it will tell you on the screen as well, but I'm happy they did that there. And this is your fan control here. Now, it doesn't have a 360 camera, so there's no camera button here, but you have your auto stop start, tuning, and volume. Now, down below here, you got some more storage, USB and USB-C plug there, and this is your center console shifter with your 2 cup holders. Now, this here is your G.O.A.T mode, so go on any terrain modes with your 4x4 settings and your off-road cruise control. Now, when you turn this dial, it'll show you the different displays here that you've got. So you got normal, slippery, eco, sport, and off-road. And then when you go into off-road, it'll basically change the 4x4 settings. So that's that there. And then you got your window controls here with your mirror controls, and then your window lock. Now over here is your center console. And then when you lift it up here, I would say it's a deep pocket. It's not as wide, but it is deep. And then you've got 2 more USB-Cs here with a 12 volt. And then it is lockable, as you can see here with the key. Now up here, you've got your sunglass holder, and then you also have your light controls as well with your sun visors. Now, I would say that's it for the interior, guys. Like I said, it's very more plain Jane. It's more of the entry trim for Bronco, so you're not going to get much luxury inside. Let's go outside, give you guys my final thoughts, and talk price. So let's talk price. 2026 Ford Bronco Big Bend here in Shadow Black with not many options. We're sitting at $64,215 Canadian. I remember when these first came out, like a Big Bend, I remember my buddy got one. I think it was in the 50s for basically an entry-level Bronco. Now they're approaching low to mid 60s for an entry-level Bronco, which I do have to say is a little high. But let me know what you guys think about the Bronco Big Bend. Curious to know if you'd rather go with this or maybe a Jeep Wrangler. That'll conclude this review, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.